Hey everybody, Miss Piper here. We got a fun flipbook project lined up for today. Just wanted to mention a few things before we get started. One, if you want to contact me, you can email me at piper@rivertreearts.org. And also, if I get going too fast on the video, you can always hit that space bar to stop the video and hit the space bar again to start it up again, give you a little bit more time to work on whatever section you're on. Anyway, I hope you love this project. It was really fun for me. So let's get going. Okay, for today's project, we are going to create a little flip book. I think it's going to be super fun. For this project, you will need your sketchbook, some pipe cleaners, markers, your pencil, possibly your pencil sharpener, and I think that'll do it. Now, if you don't have the supplies with the bag, you can do without the pipe cleaners. Really what you need is a little flip book, a book like your sketchbook. You can also make one by taking printer paper, cutting it down and stapling it at the top, and it makes a very nice little flip book. Also, if you have index cards, you can just put a paper clip at the top and create a flip book that way. For this technique, we're going to use the thinner paper because you'll be able to see through it, and that'll make the process easier. So for an example, I have this little flip book here. I see this guy, he's doing a little floss dance. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to start by showing you how I'm going to animate this little figure. So I have these pipe cleaner figures that I made last week, and I'm going to use them as my models for this week to animate the little figure. You can also make one half size by cutting a pipe cleaner in half. If you don't have enough pipe cleaners left, you can always cut a pipe cleaner in half and make just a small one. And I'm going to show you how to make the big one just in case you didn't see last week's video. So you have a pipe cleaner and you fold it in half, making a little loop like this. Try and make sure both ends are about the same length. Ooh, just wanted to spring out, didn't it? Okay, and then I take my second pipe cleaner and I fold that in half. And crimp it right at that halfway point. Take my first pipe cleaner, hold it in that little loop, and I'm going to put this pipe cleaner, the second pipe cleaner, through that loop. Everybody see how I did that? And then, once I make sure I've got the arms adjusted the way I want them, like so, make sure they're about the same length, I'm going to start twisting that second pipe cleaner. And I'm going to twist it around until I think it's long enough for the torso of the figure. Well, that looks about right to me. And then I'm going to hold it right where the pipe cleaners meet, and I'm going to twist a little neck for the figure as well. Shape the head a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm just going to bend over the ends to make little hands. And if you want to, you can bend it around a pencil. That'll give it a little bit of a round shape for a hand. Same on this other side. And I'm going to bend the feet. And there's the little figure, and we're going to use this as our model to pose the figure. So it's kind of fun to have two of these, so you can plan out how you want your figure to, let's say you want your figure to be this in the middle, and maybe it's this guy, he's walking along and then suddenly he jumps in the air, and then you plan how he or she walks away from the jump. Maybe he continues to skip down the street or something. And so this is how you can pose your figure and have something to look at, so you'll know what the movements kind of look like in order to give an animation. So this is going to be your model, and we're going to use pencil to sketch it out in your book. Start at the back of your book. We're going to start at the back of your book, not the end paper page, but the next blank page up. That's where we're going to start. And I have a little figure sketched already. And I have sketched him small over here just to make sure I've got my pose right. And then I've made him larger to make sure that you guys can see him. And I've gone over my pencil drawing with a marker just to make it easier for you to see. So you can go over it with marker if you want to, or if you love the pencil look, then go for that. So I'm going to work on starting my little figure. I'm going to pose him. He's sort of running down the street. He looks happy. And I want you to think about, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I want you to think of your own thing to do with your figure. Is your figure playing sports? Maybe he's kicking a ball or flying a kite, or what action could your figure do that would be fun? Don't copy me. Dream up your own thing. This is a chance to use your imagination and make something incredible. So this is going to be my start. And then I think I want my figure to move into a jump like this. And so I've got this little figure done here. I'm going to show you how I isolate that page, flip all the other pages together. So I have the whole book together like this and just that one loose page. And I'm going to flip this up so you can see my window, because I'm going to use this against the window. And I'm going to put the book, move back a little bit here. I put the whole book up against the window so that you can see through the paper. And it's helpful if you have a sunny window to be able to see through. And then you drop down the next page and you sketch over the top. Now, can you see? You can see through the paper and you can see the figure I sketched before and the figure I've sketched over the top of that. So I've got a little figure here in the side just to make sure I've got my sketch right. And then once I've got this guy done and I like the way he looks, you can either darken the pencil mark or you can go over it with marker to make sure it's nice and dark. Then what I'm going to do is take that back page and I'm going to flip it up with the rest of the book. So there's just that one drawing page down, and I'm going to flip down the next page and I'm going to start drawing out my next figure using the last figure I drew that I can see through there, so I can see how to move him. I'm going to start moving his arms, and I'm going to look at my little figure here where I'm aiming for. So I'm going to start moving his arm up, this arm up, and I'm very slowly, you see how small that movement is? It's just a very small movement. Okay, I might want to adjust how he's jumping. So I have that leg coming up. So I'm going to move his leg up, pull it in a little bit, put his foot in there. I'm adjusting that back part of his leg to go up more. And now I can remove that back page that was my guide. I'm going to flip it up out of the way. See if I like my new drawing, adjust it a little bit if I need to. Thinking this leg might need to be a little longer, so I'm going to adjust that. Okay, I like the way he looks. So now I'm going to go over him in marker. And that will make it easier for you to see on the video, but also make it easier for me to see my figure when I put the blank piece of paper over the top. Use it as my guide. Now you can see that there's room to do more animation on either side of your flip book. So if this guy is throwing a ball, maybe you could animate that, or maybe there's a dog running behind him. I want you really to use your imaginations and come up with something fabulous that's all your own. You don't have to do what I'm doing, for sure. Okay, so now I'm ready to flip down my next piece of paper over the top of this figure. And I'm taking my pencil and I'm sketching him out. I'm using the drawing I can see through my paper to guide me. And I can also use my figure here to guide me for my next move. What's the next move this little guy's going to make? I can animate that and look at it. I can move him around and pose him. And then I have something to look at. It's a guide for me. So this guy's leg is going to move back. It looks like he's making a big jump. Maybe he's jumping over something. Maybe I'll go back and have him leaping over a puddle or something. I don't know. But that might be kind of fun to do. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. Flip my back page up out of the way with the rest of the book. And now I can see my little figure all by himself. See if he needs any adjusting. Like the way he looks, so now I'm ready to go over the top of that with marker. Now I could also add a face to this guy and animate his face or her face. I think it would really be fun to have a little dog running along beside this person. There he is, she is, and I'm ready to drop down my next page. Okay, now with my little figure, I can decide what's the next move this guy's going to make. I've got him sort of leaping like this, which I like, and maybe I'll make it even further, more exaggerated leap. Maybe adjust his head to be up a little bit more. And I'm going to straighten the arms a bit, so they're really up in the air. You can also add emotion. You don't necessarily, whoops, I need to change that, don't I? Didn't move it enough, so I'm going to just erase and move it up a little bit. You can express emotion even if you're not adding face details. I mean, you can sense this little figure is happy. They are leaping in the air. It's a happy pose. You might want to try and see if you can express some emotion with the movement of the figure. So I put that back page up. That was my guide. I look at my figure, see if I like him, adjust anything I don't like, and then I'm using marker over my pencil marks. You could also animate something besides a figure, like maybe, I don't know, maybe see a rainbow grow across the top of the page. You could do the whole page into a flip book. There's my guy. He's really leaping now. So now I'm ready to drop down the next page and think about what my little character is going to do now. He's done his full leap. So now I have to think about bringing him back down to the ground and what his legs are going to look like as he comes closer to the ground. What are his arms going to do? Are they going to come? I think they're going to come down a little bit. So now I have a model. I have something to look at, how to draw him or her. And I'm going to start bringing those arms back down. And the legs are going to start to come back down. Okay, I'm ready to move my back drawing back with the rest of the book. Look at my drawing, adjust it, make sure that I like the way it looks. Okay, I think I'm happy, and I will marker in this drawing. You could also tell a little story with this animation. Okay, we're ready to drop down our next page. We can see our figure through the window, and we can use our little guide here, our little model, to start moving it around, see what we think would look good. Start to bring his legs down. Just little increments. You don't want to do it in big increments or it won't look like it's moving. So just a little bit of movement at a time will get you the look you want. Bring that arm down. Bring those two legs down. Okay, his second leg's going to come down even more. So here's the flip. I bend my book a little bit, and I just let one page go at a time. And he's jumping up. And you could do so many different things with this. If you wanted to cut your book in little sections, you could have 3 little places to do flip books. And it's fun to play with to see which way your book flips the best. It might be this way. It might be from the back to the front. I had to play around with it a little bit to see which way mine flipped best.
Hey, thanks for joining me today to do the flip book project. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another fun project with Summer Arts. Okay, see you later, guys.